Okay, in this video we're going to go over how to add in a jump animation to our character. What we have at the minute is our character moving left to right and then jumping up and down, but his animation state or his animations are not changing. The first thing that you want to do is obviously make a jump animation flipbook. Okay, you can do that by, if you haven't looked at my previous videos about adding in the run animation, basically all I'm going to use for this here is one sprite, and I'm going to put that in the flipbook. If you don't know how to do that, again, just look at some of my previous videos. The first thing that I want to do though is, if we look at our character blueprint, we've got it set up so that it's going to update this animation node, and really it's going to just go between link idle and link walk. So if I press play here, it's idle, and then if I move, it's walking. But if I jump, it's going to stay on whatever animation, or it's going to just move to the walk animation. Now, as we go along, we could be adding in more and more animations, so that, you know, like we could have loads of these different, you know, maybe, you know, if this is a certain value, then do this. But what we can actually do in this Unreal 4 is we can make an enumerator. So if I right click, I'm just going to go to my folder here. If I right click and go to blueprints, you can see that there's an enumeration. Okay, so this is a list of named values. I'm going to call this anim states. When you open this up, you'll not have any values or a list in here. What you have to do is click on this new. So I'm going to do this maybe 5 or 6 times, and the first one I'm going to call idle. So basically I'm going to list out all the animations that I need to have. Walk, if I'm going to add a run in here, I'll add in run, and I'll add in jump, and I'll add in hurt, die, and maybe one more for shoot, and I'll save that. And then what I can do is I can call upon this enumerator inside my character and make a variable out of that. So whenever I'm jumping, I can tell it to switch to this state, and instead of creating a really complex daisy chain of nodes here, I can kind of keep it quite simple in terms of what I want to do. So once you've made your enumeration, you want to go back into my character, and we want to make a new variable, and I'm going to call this anim states again. I'm going to change the variable type, and you can see down the bottom we've got an enum, and basically, since I've named mine's anim states, it's sitting here at the top. We're going to choose whatever we've named our enumerator. So I've named mine's anim states, and that's what I'm going to use. In our handle animation section, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to type in switch on anim states. Again, you would have your own name or whatever you named your enumerator here at the top. And you can see here this is brought in like this switch node where I can plug in exactly this animation, update animation, and then I can plug out whatever state I want to switch to. So if I plug this in here, and then I'm going to plug my idle and my walk into this here one, because this here set flipbook is working off this here bit of scripting, which is switching between my idle and walk, so they can just plug straight into this here first one. And then my jump, which I'm going to add in, I'll just have another set flipbook here on top of that. Now the selection obviously is a bit manual at the minute. We want to make that a bit more automatic. So my anim states variable, I'm going to grab that, I'm going to get that, I'm going to plug it into here. So Now we have this update animation that is going to switch its animation state depending on what this variable is. If we go down to the bottom, we can see that we've got a handle jump. Okay. So what I want to do here is when we've input the action and we've jumped, I want to set this anim state. So I'm going to get set. I want to set that to jump. So now when we press up, basically this variable is going to change to jump, which means that it's going to come out of this node. This node's not attached to anything just yet. When we land though, I want to make sure that we switch back to idle. Okay, so I'm going to right click here. Oh sorry, I'm going to grab my anim states. I'm going to pull that out and I'm going to set it. And I'm going to set that to idle. And I'm going to right click here, I'm going to put in landed, and there's an event called event on landed. And that's going to plug in here. So whenever we fall down then, we're going to set it to idle. And just to make sure that we are definitely updating this animation or calling upon this custom event, I am going to pull this out and I'm going to type in update, and that function update animation should be there. So whenever we do this, it should call upon this update animation. So we've got the basic setup, but we haven't got the flipbook. So we've got it when we jump, it's set in this anim states variable to jump. And whenever we land, it's set it to idle. And it means that it's going to update this switchboard. What I want to do is, I'm just going to grab this set flipbook and sprite, and I'm going to go Control C, Control V. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. And under flipbook, I'm going to grab my anim jump. And I'm just going to plug my jump directly into that. And that should be it. So if I compile this and press play, I've got my walk animation working, I've got my idle working, and then when I jump, you should switch to that jump animation. And when he lands then, you return to idle, and I can walk left and right.